What is up, guys? It's Mike here, and today we're going to be counting down the trucks, in my personal opinion, from worst to first from the Mix 7 Spinmaster Monster Jam toy line. Alright, so Mix 7, So Mix 7 came out around, I would say, October, maybe late September, early October, somewhere in that time frame. And Mix 7 was kind of a weird mix. I think this was the one mix that got kind of released like out of nowhere. We at the time just got Mix 6, and a lot of Kohl's, I think Kohl's and like maybe some Targets ended up getting some of these. And it was kind of a weird time because they came out of nowhere. So a lot of Targets and Walmarts actually ended up getting Mix 7 and Mix 6 at the same time, especially by me. So we basically got overloaded with both of them, and I had to run around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to collect all of them. So yeah, Mix 7 was kind of unique. A lot of duplicate trucks. A lot of trucks we already had with different themes or different gimmicks. The only new truck I can really say on here was Horsepower. It was a brand new casting. We also saw the return of Avenger, but with the S10 casting, which is amazing. And we also saw the, I believe at the time, the fourth chase piece, which was none other than Zombie, which now, probably within the last month or so, it's currently December, so yeah, I would say in the last month, maybe a little bit before Black Friday, we really started seeing a lot of these in Targets, and this is actually my fifth one. Yeah, I keep seeing them, so I keep getting them as they go, and I'll make trades with whoever and stuff like that. And yeah, so if you guys still need it, I know a lot of people do need Zombie. I wouldn't say it's the rarest one. Gravedigger definitely holds that candle, but I would put it up there with Megalodon as being probably the second rarest training truck for this year. But yeah, so Mix 7, really cool mix. So yeah, on the back here, let's go through them in case you guys don't know by heart. We have the Morgan Kane Gravedigger, or as my son calls it, the Halloween Gravedigger. We got the Nitro Neon's Megalodon and the Nitro Neon's Max D. We got the brand new casting for Horsepower. We got another Alien Invasion, EarthShaker once again, the brand new casting for Avenger, the inverse truck for Monster Mutt Dalmatian, and then we ended up getting Zombie. So with that being said, let's start the countdown with the last, or at least the least favorite truck in my opinion, and let's start counting down right now. Alright, so 9 trucks in this mix. A lot of trucks we already seen before in this year, and I believe this was the last time we saw a couple of these for this year. And number 9 is none other than EarthShaker. So the reason being this truck is number 9, this thing is I mean, I get that you have a EarthShaker casting and that you want to produce them or whatever, but at this point in the year, especially around October, November, we've seen so many EarthShakers. We have the dirt set, we have the fire and ice version, we have, what else? There's a double pack version with white rims. There is another version of EarthShaker that actually kind of looks like this with the black rims, which I believe was mix number 3. It could be 2, but I think it was 3. So, I mean, there's really nothing special here. There's really nothing different with it. I mean, you got the gray chassis, and if you really wanted to, instead of buying this truck, you could have just had the one, I think, Brodozer chassis and rims, because it's like the same thing, and basically glued it on. So, obviously, if I wasn't collecting every single truck and everything, I probably would have never got this EarthShaker, but yeah, really nothing much to say here. EarthShaker was kind of blah for me. Definitely not my favorite truck in this mix. Along with the very next truck, which is Max D. So this is actually the second Nitro Neon's Max D that we saw this year. The first one having the white or the yellow roll cage and the yellow rims. Added the two, this one is definitely a lot better, but I don't know, it just does not flow right. I mean, I don't know, there's just something odd with it. I don't know, they did two Nitro Neons for Max D, which I get, but I don't know, there's just something off with this truck. And once again, it is cool to see orange tires, it's cool to see the orange roll cage, but on Max D, I don't know, I feel like it should have been on like something else maybe. Definitely not one of my favorites. And once again, we saw another Max D. We would actually see another Max D coming out in the very last double packs, which was a lot better than this. And this is definitely probably not, I wouldn't say the worst truck of 2019, but definitely not one of the top 20 trucks, at least in my opinion. The next truck I would have to put pretty high out of all the trucks released this year, but in this mix, kinda eh. I mean, this Alien Invasion, if you watch my Mix 4 review, this one is definitely way better than the Mix 4 one. Honestly, this is like a Gravedigger roll cage chassis and rims, just with Alien Invasion, but for some reason, this works. I really like this truck. I like this one a lot. This is probably my favorite Alien Invasion besides the Fire and Ice one. It's just, in this mix alone, it does not stand a chance. But I really do think this one definitely takes the cake for Alien Invasion this year. And I believe this was the last time we saw Alien Invasion. We had the Fire and Ice, the Mix 4 single, the playset edition, and then this one. So we had 4 different Alien Invasions. This one definitely taking the cake. And this one actually done really right. I mean, I think the color scheme, everything works on it. But just this mix was, its competition was just way too much for it to handle. But really good truck, really good design. It's kind of weird that a Gravedigger, basically chassis, tires, and rims really pulled through for this thing. So the next truck on this list might be kind of a shock to you guys because you know I do like Megalodon the most. But here we go. Well, not the most, but pretty cool truck. Really weird to see all these Nitro Neons out of nowhere. I feel like we got hit with a ton of these things from Mix 6 probably and on, even in the double packs. Yeah, so this thing's covered in all kinds of stuff because my son's been playing with it a lot. But yeah, really cool how they put blue on here. This thing looked a lot cooler in pictures before it was released until I saw it. I like the way they put the blue roll cage. I feel like they should have made a chassis gray, or at least make it the same color as like the shark. But you know, I'm not gonna really complain much about it. I do like Megalodon, and I believe this is also the last time we see Megalodon this year in packs. I don't think there's one in Mix 8. Nope. And that's it for double packs. So yeah, this was the last time we saw Megalodon. Really cool. I like the ocean. Sorry if the truck's a little dirty and grimy, but yeah, really cool truck, but just does not hold a candle to the trucks in the top 5. Alright, so here we go with the top 5 trucks of mix number 7, and we're going to start off with none other than the Inverse Dalmatian. So really cool truck, really cool design. I really like this truck. The inverse colors on this thing are pretty cool, and I think this is one of the, you know, I think this is the last one. Do we have another one? We do have another one. The last one's Gravedigger. But for the Inverse series, I think this one might take the cake because this one's actually done perfectly. If you have the normal Dalmatian, then you know the color is inverted, the collar is inverted, you know, the spots are inverted, the ear is, the tail, the tires. I think they did an amazing job on this. This probably was something someone suggested and was like, oh hey, this would probably look really cool, and I'm really glad they did it. It's a really cool looking truck. I wouldn't say this is the rarest truck out of the whole mix, but I know every time I see these ones in Targets or Walmarts, and then when I go back, it's gone. And usually I go back within a day or so. So this is definitely a very popular truck in this mix. Definitely cracking the top 5. And yeah, so really cool truck. I really like it. I think they did a good job. And actually, this is one truck where the roll or the chassis actually does fit. So I'm really happy they didn't put like a red chassis or something weird in it. So really cool. Alright, so the next truck on this mix, this is where it gets kind of tough. Because all 4 of these trucks, I like them a lot. So the next truck is none other than the World Finals Morgan Kane Gravedigger. It's really cool to see this truck. This is definitely a peg warmer. Basically every Gravedigger is a peg warmer, which kind of sucks. But this thing's really cool. Now this one did get released in the 124 scale as well. And the funny thing with this is this truck came out around Halloween. And the funny thing is my son calls this the Halloween Gravedigger. And you can totally see why. It came out around Halloween. It has the orange flames. It's orange and black. Really cool. But it is the World Finals Gravedigger. I like it. It's a cool looking truck. It's, I'm really happy. I think this was the second Gravedigger, besides the Mix 6 Gravedigger, to have the full flame wrapping on the hood. So really cool. Yeah, really just all around cool. I think the only thing they should have did was make the chassis black, and it would have been maybe more of like a pop. But really cool. I really like it. I enjoy it. Gravedigger is definitely one of my favorite trucks, and I did not watch Monster Jam when this thing was in the World Finals. So when I first saw this, I thought it was like a Halloween kind of like special thing going on. But yeah, did my research, realized it was a World Finals truck, and really cool. So yeah. So now here we go with the top 3 trucks. And this is pretty tough because I like them all. But here we go with the brand new casting on horsepower. So this thing is weird. I'm pretty sure this is not a real life monster truck. I think Spinmaster kind of just had an idea and they went with it. And you know what? It works. It is honestly pretty cool. So this was definitely the last truck besides Zombie that I got in this mix. And this one's very popular. It is pretty difficult to find. It might be a little easier now that we're in December, but really cool truck. I love the way it looks. I love how this is like that hard plastic. I love what they did with the tail here. Really cool truck. I think everything flows. One thing where this truck does actually get brownie points is the bead lock in the rims. I love how Spinmaster took the time to add that detail just to do the bead lock, which is pretty cool. But really cool, really awesome. 3D printing on the nose, the mouth, and to take a horse head and turn it into a monster truck, I don't think that's ever been done before. So really cool. Spinmaster did a good job. And if this truck became real life, that would be really, really cool. If this thing was like in Monster Jam or at a monster truck show, that would be pretty sick. So now here we go with the top 2 trucks. So this was pretty difficult, but I'm gonna have to go with this truck first. So the reason being is I did not know, and when I did the review for this truck, that this was a 20th anniversary truck. I thought Spinmaster was making the 2001-2002 Avenger on that S10 tooling, and that's what I thought they were doing originally. And then once I looked into it and everything, then I realized that Avenger actually did a 20th anniversary, and it was the right green. It's basically everything done right. So when this thing got released, I thought it would be like the dark green, the 2001 Avenger, all that. But the main reason why this is number 2 on this list is because this truck looks amazing. And also another reason why this truck is number 2 is because a lot of people have been asking for this casting, and Spinmaster can't really have the Chevy copyright, I guess, but they got pretty close. And one cool thing with this is this thing, like, it just looks awesome, dude. It brings back so many memories, like when I was growing up seeing Avenger and all that. And another cool thing with it is that this thing is perfect for like customizing. So like, it's got the 3D grill, the 3D headlights, and for a lot of people that customize trucks, if you want to make like a Carolina Crusher or like someone, you know, back in those times and stuff like that, perfect casting for it. I ended up getting this truck a lot, and I actually do see this truck a lot. I wouldn't say this is a peg warmer, but it's definitely one of the more common trucks. So really cool. This casting, they did an amazing job. They really did. So that's Avenger, and this is the 20th anniversary, and I really did think it was going to be the Dark Avenger from like 2001. So the next truck, there's only one truck left, and it's none other than Zombie. So, Zombie, this thing is awesome. So, okay, every chase piece is pretty cool, right? Every chase piece might be a little difficult to find. This one, I would say, is probably as hard as to find Megalodon. Maybe a little easier to find than Megalodon, but definitely not the rarest one. But just the way this thing looks, and the way they picked the colors, the way they picked the chrome charcoal rims, the blood red on the roll cage, and the charcoal chassis. This thing, in my personal opinion, is the best looking training truck. They did this thing so well. I mean, this thing looks mean, it looks good, and it's very, very simple. There's not a lot going on. It's just honestly the best looking truck out of this whole mix. This is something you want a chase piece to be. You want it to be unique, you want it to look right, you want it to be kind of like that special vibe, and Spinmaster definitely nailed it with this truck. So that was mix number 7, and not to say all the other chase pieces are bad or horrible, but this one they hit the nail on the head with it, with the color scheme. I really love how they added the zombie on the hood right there. Just small details like that and everything. Really cool looking truck. I honestly do believe it's the best looking training truck. And yes, I am comparing that one to Gravedigger as well. Yeah, so Zombie definitely takes the cake from mix 7. This mix was really fun to hunt down and track down and everything. There were times where I didn't think I was going to get this truck. I ended up getting one off eBay. I ended up getting one, in Kohl's, Walmart, Target, and then I ended up with 5 of them. But really cool. I even had one shipped to me from a friend. So really rare truck. Really cool that I finally got it or whatever, or got a decent amount of them. But yeah, mix number 7, really cool mix. Came out around Halloween. It's currently December, and all these trucks are pretty cool. I really love Zombie the most. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know your favorite truck from mix 7, because if you agree with me, that's pretty cool. If you don't, or maybe you thought maybe EarthShaker right here, this one was the best one, let me know in the comments. But with that being said, guys, I will see you guys in another video very shortly. We have a lot of content coming out, and with that being said, like, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon.